Hey guys, it's Carly. I'm back. I am so super excited about this video. I decided I am going to change stuff up a little bit and narrate my own stories. So I really hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it really does help. Let's get into the story. In 1983, a loving mother named Olivia gave birth to her son, which she named Aiden. Shortly after Olivia gave birth to her son, the couple, Travis and Olivia Mabel, moved to Footlights Ranch, which is located in Salina, Texas, about an hour away from Dallas, Texas. In March of 1990, a tragic accident occurred. It would be any loving parent's worst nightmare. The day in question, the 7-year-old Aiden asked his mother if he could go play on the grounds of Footlights Ranch. And as always, she agreed on one condition: as long as he returned in enough time for supper. Aiden ran off cheering with excitement, jumping up and down, woohooing, all that good stuff. After some time went on, Olivia had not seen her son the rest of the afternoon. 5:30 came, dinner time arrived, and no Aiden. So the couple, Travis and Olivia, went out searching for their son on the grounds of the ranch. They were not yet concerned because they just assumed he got distracted or lost track of time in his adventures. That optimism won't last long though. Not far from the ranch, they found the little boy Aiden floating face down in the pond. He had somehow slipped, fell, and drowned. Olivia and Travis were devastated by the loss of their child, their only child. Not long after the accident, it started taking a tremendous toll on the couple's relationship. The heartache, devastation, and the pain of losing their child caused them to blame each other and themselves. Both riddled with grief and guilt, it completely tore the couple apart. Olivia withdrew from everybody and everything. She never returned to work. She no longer attended church. She barely left her house. She shut out all of her friends. And eventually, her husband. Travis and Olivia divorced. Travis moved east for a fresh new start. Olivia decided to stay at the secluded 13-acre ranch all by herself. No one has spoke to her since. She completely shut the world out, besides for the occasional groceries being delivered. People began to wonder if anybody even lived there anymore. That was until February 27, 1994. The Salina PD received a series of 3 911 phone calls, all which from an unknown caller, and all 3 were met with an eerie silence. The police department were able to trace all 3 calls to the same address: the home of Olivia Mabel. Officers were sent to the home to check out, to make sure everything's okay. When they approached the secluded ranch, they could not see through the windows because they're whitewashed. The front door was jammed shut due to no one using it for a long time. The door was swelled and bowed out into the door frame, making it impossible to open without it being kicked down. Concerned that possibly someone could be hurt inside, police chose to kick the door down, and they walked into the home. The officers were shocked and could not believe what they are seeing. There were cobwebs covering every crevice and corner, and layers of dust piled up on all the furniture. As they explored room by room, every room looked the same, full of cobwebs, dusty, gross, dirty, not cleaned. It looked as if no one's even been in the home, touched, let alone lived there in a long time. That was the case anyways, until they reached Aiden's room. Inside his room, everything was different. Things were nice, tidy, and clean. They found his toys put away seemingly where they belong. His clothes were folded up nicely and put away in the dresser drawers. And right in the center of the room, they found Olivia Mabel, deceased, sitting in a rocking chair wearing slippers and a nightgown. Clutched in her hands, they found a handmade doll in Aiden's likeness, wrapped with shreds of his clothing. Officers reported that Olivia looked like she has been there for months. Sitting directly in front of Olivia, there was a handcrafted shrine that she had made dedicated to her beloved son. Few items belonging to Aiden were placed right on top, as well as drawings and photographs of him, alongside candles and fresh flowers. There were also heartbreaking letters found written by Olivia to her beloved son that she dearly missed. It was very upsetting to those who witnessed the scene. But one question still lingers: who made those 911 calls? One of the first responding officers, named Francesca Santiago, described what they found that day. There was no evidence of forced entry besides the officers kicking down the front door. There is absolutely no sign that anybody has been in that property in years. All the windows and doors were locked from the inside. Even the phone was covered in dust. There was no hand markings on the phone showing that someone picked it up and tried to make a phone call. This is where things get super strange. One of the officers examined one of the letters written by Olivia, and this is how that letter went. I'm going to read it to you off this paper. My Aiden, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I should have never let it get like this. I'm leaving. I will not let you keep me, you evil, vile creature. Mommy's coming for you, Aiden, my sweet Aiden. Mommy loves you. The weird part is the letter was dated for February 27th, 1994. The same day the phone calls were made, the same day the officers went to the ranch, and the same day they found Olivia's body. It has seemed that Olivia has been attempting occult practices. Alongside with the shrine made for Aiden, there were strange write-ins wrote in Sanskrit, turning out to mean construct or to build. It is believed she was trying to attempt Topa, also known as magical emanations or conjuring thing. Considering the shrine dedicated to Aiden, the handmade doubt that was clutched in her hands, her isolation, her obsession, and Sanskrit, it seems the assumption is a fair assumption. Is it possible she was trying to manifest an entity in her son's likeness to ease her grieving heart? According to Tibetan Buddhism, a being can be created by mental discipline and deep meditated thought. Can it be possible Olivia conjured a being through these practices? Considering her letter being dated February 27th, 1994, could this entity have turned against her and broke free, possibly taken her life? Officer Santiago and other officers stated as soon as they walked in that house, they felt a heavy, angry presence. I cannot help but wonder if this is paranormal. Christopher Hagen, the current owner of Foots Light Ranch, says that he has not been able to sell this property for 25 years. Reportedly, any potential buyer that walked in the house wanted nothing to do with it due to the heavy energy that everybody feels. Even Christopher himself says he's experienced paranormal incidences while he was doing some renovations. In 2005, Drew Navarro, an Austin-based paranormal investigator, came to see the property. Navarro says no one has moved in there and has been unable to sell the property for 25 years. Reported that he could not breathe upon entry and has never felt such an angry presence in his career. He says he never felt once invited, and it felt as if a jealous child acting extremely erratically. He thinks this home should be avoided by all means until some intervention happens. Now, did something kill Olivia Mabel? Did something sinister happen? A death certificate does exist for Aiden Mabel, which states both Olivia and Travis as his parents, but yet investigators have been unable to find a death certificate for his mother, Olivia. Nor has a coroner report stating how Olivia passed away has been found. When it's all said and done, whether this story to be fiction or not, it's a sad story. It's kind of heartbreaking actually, because it's a grieving mother with absolutely heartbroken. She secluded herself from the world. I couldn't imagine. Whatever the truth may be, I hope Aiden and his mother are together, resting eternally peacefully.